Yo, what's up guys? JBiz back with another Genshin video. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 huge mistakes that you could be making in the game that could potentially ruin your experience, and I'd go as far as to say that it could possibly make you put the game down and not want to play it anymore because of these 3 huge mistakes that you could be making. Alright, so number 1, and this might be the biggest one because it honestly ties into everything, but we'll see, is spending your Risen wisely. Early on, I mean, you want to use your Risen when it's maxed. You never want your Risen to be just sitting at 120 out of 120. That's wasted experience that you could be getting. However, where you're using that Risen, it could potentially change the entire game for you. And the reason I say that, and the reason I said that it could really ruin your experience with the game is because, so for one, let's go to domains. Let's say right now you're ranked like 23 or 24, and the only missions you really have are the only domains you can do are the base domains. You can't do like world boss, and you haven't really gotten into farming the world bosses, the cubes and stuff. You're just farming these. Please do not be farming these artifact domains. It is not worth your Risen at the moment. These artifact sets, especially early game, you will be getting nothing but blues the entire time. You will never see a purple, I believe, until for sure 25. Then you'll start to see them more consistently at 30, and then I'm 36 and I still don't get 5-star artifacts, and I rarely see even a double drop of purple artifacts. So what I'm trying to, the big thing here is these artifacts, once you level up, are going to be taken to the next level, and you're going to be wasting your what you're building up on. You're gonna, like, if you get a blue one, when you level up a couple more levels, you're gonna get a purple one. Then that blue one that you used all that Risen to farm up to get a good roll on it and stuff, it's wasted. So where you should be using your Risen is right here in the weapon ascension materials, the skill books, the talent level up, and the character. The character level ups are from the world bosses. So those are also very good to do if you can do those right now. If not, this is where you should be using your Risen at the moment. If you're low level, getting the worst feeling for me personally, and I'm sure it's for some other people, is getting a really good weapon or something you're wanting to level it up, and you don't have any weapon ascension materials, and these change daily, so you may have to wait 2 or 3 days until the next one comes that you'll be able to farm it. So then you've got a really great weapon you just pulled, and there's nothing you can do with it. You can get it to level 20. Let's say you're to where you're able to get level 50 weapons, and you can't even get it up to level 30, level 40, for sure level 50, because you don't have any of the materials. If you're at that 120 level, please be farming these. It is going to help your account in the long run so much to stockpile these type of weapon ascension materials, as well as these books. Talent levels on your characters are huge for late game. So the other thing about Risen is these right here. If you're free to play, for sure, save these. Do not use these. These will help. You're going to want to use these when you get higher venture rank, because your drops are going to be better. So if you're wanting to farm out a 4-star artifact set and you're free to play, these are going to really help you do it, because you're going to get 60 Risen each time. Only 20 Risen. That's a free 3 runs on that dungeon or domain that you'll get per these. So that's probably the biggest thing about the Risen. All right. Number 2 is the talent or the weapons that you pull from the gacha. So let's go over here, and we're going to go to my weapons here. Now, I do have a lot of 3-star weapons, however, we're not going to take a look at those right now. Please, a huge thing is to make sure you're keeping 3-star weapons before you delete them. Make sure you've got 1 or 2 of that weapon if it's really good, which I do have a weapon guide on some of the best 3-star weapons. If you haven't seen that, go check it out before. These weapons are very, very, very good once you get them max refinement rank. 3-star weapons are easy. Look, I mean, I have so many dupes. 3-star weapons are so easy to pull from the gear gacha or just the normal gacha. You'll get tons of them, and when I see people all the time that I talk to that have like, this is probably the best 3-star weapon in the game, probably a top 5 weapon currently, at least for me because of the support. They've only gotten one, and they know they pulled it 50 times, but they've used it to infuse into other weapons. Personally, I think that's a complete waste unless you have one that's already maxed. So like if I pull some more of the white tassel, yeah, go ahead and toss those into some other weapons and stuff, because you've already got one max refinement rank. You don't really need another one unless you use that weapon a lot on a whole bunch of different characters. Then go ahead and make 2 of them. However, I would highly suggest, and I think it would make your account a lot better, and you would have a much better time using these weapons and have a much easier time defeating content if you would make sure you're looking at these weapons and getting their refinement rank up. The base stats that you get from some of these weapons are way better at refinement rank 5 than a 4-star is at refinement rank 1 because they're so hard to pull. These weapons are 10 times better than these unless they are specific builds set for, like the stringless bow is literally god tier for Venti because of how it's the damage from his elemental skill and burst, that it's literally made for him. However, if you have that, or if you don't have that bow and you're using like a bow like this or something else, this bow, if you're using a fire and water, is going to be 10 times better than a just normal damage 4-star bow. So that is huge. I really hope you guys have been saving some of your 3-star weapons. Like I said, check out my other video on the 3-star weapons, some of the best ones, and make sure you're getting those up to refinement rank 5 before you start sending them as experience into your other weapons. And then we will come up to our largest and probably the biggest thing in the game that I can say that people have been messing up on, is essentially spreading your resources out too thin. If you go to my characters here, I'm almost level 37. It means I've been 35 for a couple days now, and I have the ascension material already built up for these units, and I have them built up for other units. However, even being as high as I am, I only have 3 units that are at, well, 2 actually, that are at 70. Fischl is ascended to 70. I just haven't leveled her up yet. What I'm trying to get at here is it's better to focus on a couple of units that you're going to use in the long run instead of spreading your resources out too thin and upgrading every single character that you have. Because essentially, once you get to a certain amount of content and you're leveled up high enough, you're not going to have any resources left to level them up. So let's say you have 8 units that are level 50. You finally hit 30. You can get them to 60. You can go send them. You've been farming your risen and stuff, but then you go to level them up. Or here, let me go back. I'll go back to the character screen. You go to level them up, and you have no character XP books or posters. I don't know. You have none of these because you've used them all on all your characters. Well, now you go into some fresh content like, oh yes, the world level up. We're going to be really feeling super strong now. My characters, I can boost them to level 60. Well, no, you can't, because you've spread your resources out so thin trying to get all of these characters to max that you can't progress. So you go into some higher difficulty content and you're like, well, hold on now, my characters, I just got a higher adventure rank, I ascend to them, they're not doing as much damage as they were. That's because the enemies are stronger. However, you aren't able to increase your level on your characters because you're out of resources. That also goes to the artifacts. Artifacts and character XP are probably the 2 biggest things about really like micromanaging your resources. For one, because there's only a certain way to level up your character, and that's by the books, outside of the small amount of XP you get from defeating enemies in game, which is literally, it would take you months to level a character from 60 to 70 off of that, probably more. You probably wouldn't even get to it. So same with these, they're not like weapons. You go to enhance, you don't have the type of materials to upgrade. You have to use other artifacts to upgrade it in there. Well, if you've built 7 sets on every single unit that you've boosted, you're not going to have any type of artifacts left to boost on your main character's damage to 16, and you're just not going to do any damage, which in return is going to make your experience a lot worse. Everyone wants to feel strong. That's the big thing in this game, and in most games you want to feel strong, you want to feel powerful, you want to be able to clear content fairly easily and just feel and have a sense of power to you. That's what the game is. And if you spread your resources out too thin, you just will not be able to do that. You'll feel strong for a little bit because you're like, oh, I have so many characters, and then you get to some harder content and you're like, well, now I can't beat the ice guy even with a fire, or the ice world boss to upgrade my Chongyun, because my fire damage dealer doesn't do any damage because I don't have him boosted. Or so, and it will get really frustrating, and to be honest, you'll probably want to put the game down. You'll get burnt on extremely. You'll get to a point to where you're just not really progressing as much as you were, and if you're not an absolute grinder, then you're just not, it's not going to be fun for you. And at the end of the day, that's what the game is. It's meant to be fun. It's meant for you to enjoy yourself. And personally, for me, feeling powerful with my characters is the enjoyment that I get out of the game. And I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there just like me. So, well, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I really hope it helps you. I really hope it helps you guys' accounts. Keep progressing, keep playing. Make sure you're focusing on just a couple of units. Make sure you're doing those weapon ascension domains and spending your risen very wisely. And make sure you're getting those weapons refined before you start infusing them, and using those 3-star weapons instead of a base 4-star. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.